Hi. So in this video, I want to cover AOVs and more specifically a type of AOV that I use frequently for materials only. So for example, in this model that I have here, I have a combined mesh with multiple materials on it. But this also applies to a scene that has multiple meshes with one material spread across different meshes, different objects, and there's sometimes a need to just isolate that specific material to dial it in. So what I do for that uh, in Arnold is actually a little bit more straightforward than selecting something like a crypto material, crypto mat, which works pretty well. However, is only restricted. This is restricted to only using the CPU renderer in Arnold, and I like to render on GPU. So what I like to do is add a custom AOV. So what I do is add a custom AOV in the AOV tab in the render settings, and I name it Material Mat AOV. And I want to copy this because we're going to use this name later on. So copy that, and here we are. We created our material mat AOV. It's enabled and ready for us to use. So we already copied the name. So what we want to do is go to the hypershade. And in the hypershade, you can see in this demo scene, this demo model, I created a few materials to assign randomly on this model for different parts of it. And when I bring them all up, what you want to find when you select a certain material. See this one. Let's make this one smaller here. What you want to do is go to the AOV uh, section of this material. You can find that in the hypershade or in the attribute editor on the side. It's going to do the same thing. So what I want to do is for each of these materials on this object is I want to assign this mat AOV. And for each one, I want to give it a unique color. So for this first one, we're going to start with this color here. Then I want to go to the next AOV and do the same. I want to paste that AOV name and I want to select a material color for it. So we'll use red for this. Select this next one, and for this one I'll use that bright pink. Uh, and for this last one here, I want to use green. So if I go and select all of these, they'll all have a different color uh, map to them that I will now be able to render out. And we can close the hypershade here and bring up Arnold render view. Here we go, Arnold render view. So this was the initial render of this helmet here, and it only had a beauty, right? So when I re-render this, here we are. It's going through, it's going to render real quick, and this even shows up right when you're rendering. So if you have a longer render, you can see how this uh, will show up, this beauty pass here. And then what you see is we have this pass here. Now, with this pass, you can obviously use it for several different reasons, but the beauty of it is that, now it's based on the material. It's isolated to the material, and if you have an object with the same material spread across an entire scene, let's say one in the foreground and one just slightly before it, and you're like, ooh, I don't really like that reflection. In post, you could just come isolate it by that material with this mask, let's say using this green layer here, and you can just dial it in. You can just isolate that material section, dial it in how you want, and you're good. You don't have to go back and render anything, uh, re-render anything, or adjust the material in Maya. You can just adjust whatever you want in your compositing software or Photoshop. And that goes the same for every other part that you isolated in this Material Matte AOV. You can go back to your beauty and you can see how in the future you can just isolate the nice chromey bits, reduce a lot of that stuff. And then this is just an added benefit, to using some of the other AOVs that you would typically use in a render. Obviously, you're going to have your spec, your reflection, your lighting, your base RGB, so on and so forth. But this is just a little extra pass that I like to set up, and it's great. It's easy. It's really straightforward. You don't have to do too much work, and then you get a nice, cool material matte for your renders. All right, if you have any questions, just comment below. If there's any other tutorials like this that you'd love to see, just reach out, let me know. Have a great one.